we need actually men and women concerned to rise up and handle these children, because this is a time bomb.
Archbishop Kazimba asked Christians to desist from living miserable lives and learn to appreciate all situations as they occur.
There are some have many problems, COVID, lockdown 2 times.
And we are hoping that this year it will be more fair than the other year, because everything wasn't easy.
Positiveness, we shouldn't be sadists. Sadists are always inflicting evil. They don't want to appreciate.
Dr. Kazimba Mugalu also commended government for accepting to compensate the church for its land in Entebbe to a tune of up to 21 billion.
We are so grateful that the government of Uganda agreed to pay us 21.4 billion, which is actually a compensation of our land at Entebbe Airport. They have been paying, but the payment was not really extremely useful, because
it should be noted that government proposed guidelines of punishing boys who impregnate girls by sending them also out of school for the same period the girl will spend at home. Susan Naonga reporting for UBC TV.
The Diocesan Secretary, Church of Uganda, Reverend Canon John Awodi, has urged Ugandan politicians to emulate their Kenyan counterparts in being united regardless of their partisan differences. He was referring to a social media clip that shows Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta apologizing to opposition politician Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto. Reverend Canon Awodi made the remarks during the New Year prayers at All Saints Cathedral in Kampala.
This is the clip the Diocesan Secretary of Church of Uganda, Reverend John Awodi, was referring to where, during an end-of-year Thanksgiving prayers, President Uhuru apologized to his rival parties. Reverend Canon Awodi urged the Ugandan politicians to emulate them and be united.
It moved me when President Kenyatta, Uhuru, came up and said, we have abused each other. But today I stand before you. This was during the National Prayer Breakfast. I want to ask for forgiveness. And he called Raila Odinga to ask for forgiveness. What an experience when I saw them embracing each other. That's the kind of experience I pray that God will give us to come to, where in spite of our differences, we're able to say, my brother, my sister, forgive me for this that I have done, for that I've done.
In the message on the theme Hope Beyond Affliction, Awodi appealed to the Christians not to dwell on their challenges but focus on hope.
Let me say this, that focusing on the trouble will not remove the trouble. It will never change any situation. Instead, it will prolong and enlarge the trouble. And so, you think that is a very good way of dealing with the problem when you're actually destroying yourself.
Prominent among those that attended prayers at All Saints Cathedral was the first Deputy Premier and the Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. She says 2021 has been a tough year, but hopes that with the lifting of COVID-19 lockdown, things will normalize.
But fortunately, last evening, there was a pledge from the President to reopen a number of areas in the economy. There are people in this country who have not been able to earn a living for over 2 years. So now there will be an opportunity.
She pledges to work hard to normalize the trade wars between Kenya and Uganda as one of her priority areas.
I have put out of energy, and as you are aware, some 2 weeks ago, the Kenyans responded to our threat blockade, and they came for talks. And now the poultry association have already started exporting eggs again back.
Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
Several children have been confirmed in the Catholic faith at St. Mary's Cathedral, Rubaga, on New Year's Day. This was overseen by former Apostolic Nuncio to Belgium, Augustine Kasuja, who delivered the Pope's message on peace and dialogue for peaceful coexistence. This was re-emphasized by the Cathedral Catechist Aloysius Ivan Karanzi, who called upon opposition to work with government.
Ready to confirm their devotion to the Catholic faith were over 60 children at Rubaga Cathedral in Kampala. The process was overseen by the former Apostolic Nuncio to Belgium, Augustine Kasuja.
Amina.
They officially made their vows to confirm their devotion as is the practice in the Catholic Church.
Okkiriza mwoyo mutuukirivu omukama aw'obulamu bw'ogenda okufuna olwaleero mu konfirmansiyo ng'abatume bwe baamufuna luli ku lwa Pentekooti mu ngeri eyeewunyisa omukkiriza.
This was part of New Year's celebrations, which also coincided with International Day of Peace, as pronounced by the Pope nearly 50 years ago.
The Church invites us to celebrate with the solemnity the divine motherhood of Mary. That is to say, that Mary, the mother of Jesus, is the mother of God. For 55 years, by the decision of Pope Paul VI, as I said before, on the 1st of January, we celebrate the World Day of Peace, which is always marked by a special message of the Pope for the occasion, addressed to all world leaders and to all people of goodwill.
In the message of the Pope, on whose behalf he delivered, he called for dialogue among its people in positions of responsibility.
For this year, 2022, Pope Francis proposes 3 tools, all paths for building a lasting peace. The first tool he proposes is honest dialogue between generations, which implies listening to one another and sharing wisdom and experiences between the elderly people and the young people, a fact that creates a lasting atmosphere of peace.
This was supported by the head of the laity for Kampala Archdiocese, Aloysius Karanzi. He challenged the opposition to embrace working with government despite political differences.
Government ya NRM egambye tukolewo oluguudo lwaki nja kiwakanya. Baba nti bazimbawo eddwaliro ery'obulungi lw'abantu lwaki nja kiwakanya. N'olwekyo okubeera mu bibiina eby'enjawulo ku opposition kitegeeza kubeerawo nga tulwanagana oba tuwalaŋŋana wabula okulaba nti biteesebwa lwa bulungi bw'abantu.
As the day's sermon ended, also of concern to the congregants was the continuous destruction of the environment. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Well, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but to join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition, we'll be having much more stories to share with you. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugulu. We will see you then.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more security.